Financial Fridays with Dre and Smiley. Dre, I want to tell you a quick story. I was talking with one of my friends the other day, and she said, can I borrow money from my life insurance policy? And I said, well, it depends. And a lot of people, there's several different kinds of life insurance. And as we always say, we're not financial experts. We're just speaking from our experiences. But you got term life insurance, which is you're renting, meaning I'm going to pay for the next 10 years this premium. If something happens to me in the 10 years, then my family gets some money, and then I don't get any, I'm just dead. So you got 10 years, you pay on it. At the end of 10 years, it expires. That's term. Then they got universal, they got whole life, and all these different ones. But my understanding with whole life is as you build up your cash value over time, you can borrow from your insurance policy. So let's assume your insurance policy is worth $1 million and you have a cash value of 700,000 or 500,000 and you wanted to borrow 50 from it, you could borrow from your insurance policy, then pay yourself back. So she wasn't aware of this and she has a whole life policy. So I encouraged her to call out to her insurance agent to discuss what her options are because you borrow from yourself and then you pay yourself back. And then if you happen to have a demise, meaning your death during this while you're paying yourself back, then they just subtract the 50,000 from your policy, 1 million minus 50, and that's what your family members, your beneficiaries receive. Are you familiar with this sort of strategy of accessing money from your insurance, or have you ever heard of that, Dre?
I have actually, and I know of people who take it a step further and they put it into their trust. They create a trust and put their policy in there, which adds another benefit that I'm not able to intelligently articulate. But there's some additional benefit in terms of, having that money in the trust, that policy in the trust, and then borrowing against that. I'm not sure if it's a tax benefit or what it is, but um, adding that trust component to it, from my understanding, is another benefit. Is that something that you've heard or have experience with?
Well,
The trust.
remember our podcast, we had Rafael Acosta on, and he talked about what would Rockefeller do. He was reading that book, and
Right.
that's exactly what the Rockefellers did.
Yeah.
I actually do. I after the podcast with Raphael, I went and got the book and I read the book,
Hmm.
and once again, we're not financial experts, and I need to speak with an attorney about this. But the way the Rockefeller family set up their trusts with the instruments of life insurance and insurance policies
Hmm.
is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's a way to preserve capital within the family.
Hmm.
It's generational capital, generational wealth. So I don't know, I can't articulate the trust aspects yet because I haven't experienced it,
Hmm.
but it's on my radar of things to do this year
Yeah.
if I don't have a unfortunate demise soon. But that's on my radar to get the trust and get everything like Rockefeller because it's all public. It's public information. There's
Hmm.
nothing that prevents us from doing what Rockefeller did
Hmm.
and what the Rockefellers are doing. And it's just a matter of zeros. Maybe they have 9 zeros, we have 2 zeros, but
Right.
it's still the same logic.
Right. Yeah,
So,
it's interesting. I think that, one of the things that those listening should keep in mind is that those that are wealthy and doing extremely well financially, they're no smarter than the average person, oftentimes, right? They just simply have exposure to information. They have exposure to strategies and things that the average person may not be aware of initially. It's just a matter of, seeking that knowledge and finding ways to apply it. As Smiley said earlier, we are not experts here in finance, but we just enjoy sharing our experiences and thoughts around finance. Hope everyone has a great Friday, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.